still storming? Yeah. Okay. You finna start back up.
We're talking randomly. Talking random. We're talking randomly. Talking random.
Welcome back to Barbershop Talking Random-ish. This ain't nothing but some good old-fashioned barbershop style conversation. In this here barbershop, no conversation is taboo. We ain't got but one rule and one rule only. That rule is say what you mean what you say, just don't be mean when you say it. Right now we are live on Facebook, on the Sherman Gartrell's page. What's up, big cuz? Wing King himself. Y'all know what he do. The best wings wherever you can catch him. Right now he's on the foodie tour. So if you see the Wing King truck, grab some. The best going. Also, we are also sponsored by Queen Playhouse. She got your jumpy houses. She put out your flyers. She is a uber talented young lady, and whatever you need, she got. We are back in the barbershop, and the fellas left your boy by himself. Like I say, back in the day, y'all know what that used to be like. But the ironic thing is, I'm still surrounded by beautiful young ladies. But it's different. I got my beautiful wife sitting here next to me, the video coordinator. And so I am on my bestest of behaviors. And because I don't want no problem. Not now problem. I love this woman. It took a lifetime to find it. But I don't know if you are watching on YouTube right now, or when you see this, the second half of the show once it's posted on YouTube, you're gonna notice I changed shirts. You know there's a method to my madness. This shirt is I picked it up at Walmart a little over a year ago, and it's autism. I mean, and so I picked it up, and as I'm doing the research on it, because if you see the shirt, it's a puzzle, and if you know anything about excuse me, if you know anything about autism or didn't read about autism, there's a puzzle. The puzzle used to be a symbol. It's a puzzle in 4 different colors. It used to be a symbol, excuse me, for autism. But in recent timing, years, whatever, that has now changed. Let's get into it. When we had a conversation on the phone, first of all, we gonna go to Mama. Miss Nitra.
Yes.
You initially said that your son at a young age was diagnosed with autism.
Yeah.
And here lately, he no longer has autism. When the phone rings, hello?
You answer the phone.
I probably did. I'm on spring break.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What was the first thing you said to me? And that you wanted to make sure that the world knew about autism?
Well, I've been working in this field for a very long time. I got in it when I was around 18, 19. I became an ABA therapist, and I served children in their home that were on the spectrum of autism. And I worked underneath a BCBA and got all this intense training and educational background. I went on to UGA and specialized in autism and other things as well. But as a professional, autism, personally, because other people may have different views on it, but my view on it is that autism cannot be cured.
Mm-mm.
However, as we've discussed, more and more and more and more diagnoses are given to children at an early age, and that label is put onto them versus saying that it's a developmental delay. Let's keep on monitoring this, put in some interventions, and see later on around 7 or 8, redo some testing and see what we see then. I do think that's why, personally, my personal opinion is that why some people may feel that it is cured. But if you are diagnosed with autism, you have autism. You can put in interventions and specially designed instruction to replace and shape behaviors so that a child can eventually grow and be able to function in society, and no one would never know that this student, as we see an adult here,
Yes.
have those challenges unless it is been told. And that's my viewpoint on it. However, the instructional approach is highly important.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a big difference what you see later on.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's, because they learn different, and it takes an individualized approach to that particular student to work with them. And also, it takes a mama, a daddy, a family. It takes a village to work on those skills in order to shape that child to be functional and independent in society.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the gaps fall when the child is getting ABA therapies, getting play therapy, they may be getting speech therapy. But those hours are only a certain amount of hours. It has to generalize back into that home.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody, the puzzles stick together. And when all the puzzles are pieced together, then you are grooming and you are shaping an individual functional adult.
Yeah.
But when you got missing pieces with anything, you're going to have missing gaps of learning and missing, and that's what we're going to have.
Okay. Well, I don't know if y'all watching. We do have our beautiful therapist. The resident therapist is in the building. Hello, Miss Tamika. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. How are you? And how is everyone here? This subject is like very near and dear to my heart. I have a 3-year-old great nephew that is autistic, and he's on the spectrum. And right now he's nonverbal. But I just believe he's gonna, start to speak and say those words. I want to hear. But I know it's just gonna take some time and like a lot of support as far as family and pulling together to make sure that he gets to the appointments, the different things, making sure one thing, my son, my oldest son is a first grade special education teacher in Cobb County, and he is, before he got there, he worked at this school in Chattanooga where they only it was just a school for autistic kids. And so just working there for a couple of years and deciding to move back to Georgia, he was like, this is what I want to do. So trying, I've dealt with clients, children that are autistic, but not, it's been interesting. And so what he did tell me, I was like, what do you rate? He was like, you gotta get structure. If anything, structure is very important. And I could see once we started getting him on a, like a structured day, structured night, things started to kind of just fall in place. We're still working with him, but it's like, wow, that really made a difference. And just working with, and I've only worked with boys with autism, and the two that I worked with, they were very, like, they were headstrong. They were like, this is what I want to do. One incident that I had was he was wanting to do all he was like, I want to go to college. And I was like, okay, we can get you to college. And I think, just all the stigmas and everything, and his parents were like, I don't know if it was just like, I read all these books and this is what it said. And I'm like, he's in his, like, he has a standard. He has to meet the standard of the world. And I'm like, he has a standard, but he doesn't have to meet the standard of, what we call, and I always say to people, I was like, well, what is normal? I mean, if he's not harming anyone or harming himself, then he's good. And so that case kind of broke my heart, because I think he was in like the higher, the classes where they get dual enrollment, and the mom took him out, and I think that right there broke his spirit. And it was like, he did not want to go back to just, he knew that he was back in just a regular class. And I'm like, you can't act like he does not understand. He does. And so with that, his grades just went down. And so I'm like, he can do it. And we always think we know what's best. And because they have labeled or said, so, whatever mental or learned disability it is, it seems like the outside always knows best, but they never think to consult the person.
Absolutely.
To find out what they can actually do.
Yeah.
Dr. Garcia, I seen you jotting down some things. I seen you.
I'm always making notes.
The infinity is the new symbol for autism. In your opinion,
I didn't know this.
I usually find that people make like symbols or impose things on groups, and then they're kind of the last to find out. Not just autism. I mean, think about all the political movements. And you're like, wait a minute, I didn't know this was our sign. It doesn't matter to me, honestly. Like, because when you're dealing with a kid, you're dealing with parents. Nobody cares about the sign. That's just. I feel like it almost gets petty, to where like, we don't need a gang sign. Nobody's throwing up the puzzle versus the infinity. It's we all are trying to live and try and figure out a lot of these deviating traits. So like, you've got a large amount of kids that are being like highly diagnosed right now, but they're not specifying. Like we've talked about here, where it's like, oh, they're ADHD. Yeah. We got that. They can't concentrate because you're not teaching them the right way. The way they see the world is not like everyone else. So like when you're trying to explain something, if you're not able to hone in and see that kid and know kind of like what algorithm they're developing, that's the easiest way to think.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, so I know like they're going to go with this, or I'm going to have to modify this particular thing. Or like when I sent you the moon picture, he was the only one out of all of them doing these Oreo cookie things and created a moon that when they ran out, he figured out how to manipulate. And it's like, so in my work, it's like, basically we're called strange thinkers. There's no, because you could be autistic, but then, you know, autism also carries the ability of psychosis, which puts you in the schizophrenia realm. That's not the cool diagnosis to have. People are still scared of schizophrenics. But bipolar, depression, anxiety, I mean, you just, you know, stack them just like charges and be like, I got this. You know, and, yeah, I mean, you see it. I think social media has been probably the worst propagator of that, where it's like, oh, I'm cool because I'm quirky. And it's like, when you're basically on the ledge because, like, you can't figure out how to make toast, or it'll be the most random thing in the world. And then kind of talking about curing autism. So Jay and I have a similar story with birth complications that might have been a correlational factor.
Okay.
They're looking at a particular gene to see if they can isolate that. But Elon Musk caught probably like 4 years ago with Neuralink talking about how autism might be one that they could cure. I understood what he was saying. He kind of, you know, being Elon. But Temple Grandin talks about this thing a little bit more, where it's like, we would like to remove the parts that hurt, like the depression and sadness, because you don't understand. Or like somebody says something like idiomatic expressions, but you don't know how to take it. And so then, like, we can be really good, but we can also be very dangerous. So like, my dangerous trait is I have flat affect and learn how to like mask and fit in. So I'm dangerous at the poker table because I'm able to like watch everything all at one time. It's hypersensory. So I'm calculating numbers to kind of turn it into a strength. But some of the controversies, because I mean, with the shirt and the symbol, but also like with Asperger's, you know, that's actually coming back around. They may end up re-adding it to the DSM. And then even ABA therapy, which she can talk about, there's also controversy with that. Because some people are like, my kid can grow up, there's nothing wrong with them. Parent can parent however they want. But, I mean, there are certain things we need every person in the community to know how to do, or to be okay with getting help.
Yes.
If
you need that.
That's right.
Like,
Amen.
So I'll stop talking.
No, I don't need you to do that.
Yes. And then, like, just like he said, just having a community around the children that needs it. And I truly, both of them, I praise them all the time. Like, they have helped my son so much and helped me as a parent and my husband as a parent for our son. So,
well, speaking of husband, when y'all first found out that your son was different, how was that for your marriage? What did that do for you?
nothing. Like, we really zoned in together and was like, we're going to figure this out and how to help him. And that's been the goal ever since then. So, like, we are big communicators with our son. Like, we talk to him a lot. And that, I believe that's helped him socially, too, grow into his own person, because he now likes to talk and communicate and express his feelings. And both of them will tell you, like, when he's upset, he's like, I'm mad. And he's going to tell you why he's upset.
Yes.
Most kids are not going to
Most grown folks.
Yeah.
Most
Yeah.
grown folks.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about the kids.
Yeah. And so, even like with me and my husband, like you said, most grown people, like, he's just now coming to a place where he wants to communicate more, and he's a grown man.
Yeah.
But Jason, we'll call him Jay, is a young child, and he wants to communicate. So we truly believe that's gonna help him in society also. But yeah, both of these people have played a big part in my son's life and his development.
Dr. Garcia, you are an advocate for autism. The story that Tamika told about the parent who basically is hindering her child from becoming the person that they can become. What would someone like you as an advocate do for a kid like this?
I mean, it's hard. Like, you got to know the parent and kind of like what's their ultimate like goal or outcome. Some of them are checked out because they're raising their kids and then 2 other kids from their sister who's making bad decisions, and everybody's coming to the table with more than just this one thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think especially in education, we're very condemning of parents very quickly. Very easy to like condemn us as well, but the advocacy side, like for being a special education advocate, is more like the IEPs and things that I'll be going to the meeting. I'm kind of the intermediary between the next step is we're going to court. You know,
Yes. Yes.
Here's the violation. I can give them to you. Do you want me to itemize this, or how do you want to play it? Or just tell me and stop lying to me and say, no, services weren't given, or I don't know how to do this, and we don't have the support that we need. And that's not just with this case, but a lot of different cases. And a lot of times the parents do best when they have another parent or some kind of model themselves that they can look at. Because I think every time we're talking about a sociology kind of psychology situation like this, it's always, well, who am I looking towards? So even if it's movies where, you know, you've mentioned Atypical, Big Bang Theory shows, you draw from those and you go, well, how did Sheldon figure this out? Because, you know, he does quirky little things, but if you notice, like, when he gets his feelings hurt, they're very interesting times.
Yes.
Because they seem kind of like trivial.
Absolutely.
But if you remember the when he gave Penny the Christmas gifts because she gave him the autographed Leonard Nimoy.
Yes.
It's the first time you ever actually really see him give a hug. And it's like, you know, I don't know if a parent's very like, you know, not touchy-feely, but do they hug their kid a lot? What's kind of their relationship? Do they work third shifts? So like I grew up with a lot of Spanish immigrants, and so their parents are working late. So just trying to be in their lives. So I think a lot of times it's great having conversations, but we don't really take all the variables about what's that parent going through. They just got so much on their mind, and now it's not that they have another problem. Their life just took on something that they have no idea what to do with.
Yeah.
So the best thing is not to go at the parent and be like, you should really be doing this. But it's like, here's a book that just kind of starts the conversation, like, you know, with Nidra. Or here's a group of parents that get together with coffee and just talk because they need somebody who's going through that same life as them. You see this kind of struggle right now with a lot of, because you've talked about the dynamics of men not being able to like vocalize how they're feeling. And so I've been monitoring Reddit and a lot of things, and like autistic adults are not doing well. I mean, in general, 38 is about the average age of mortality. So that's because services aren't available. You have to think about that age. They're normally living with family. And so family starts to pass away, which means there's less and less people. And so they become depressed because they feel like, I need all of this. And it takes people, you know, kind of shaking you in a way and going, you're not a burden. Because the number one issue of suicide is actually burden.
Yes.
And so you'll start to see what I call like an unconscious suicide by being clumsy. I don't care if I die because it'll be better. I'll be able to relieve these people. You'll even hear kids say it too, when they get into like real like meltdown panic mode. But at the end of the day, it's like if the parent doesn't have a model, like it'd be like a kid without a teacher. What am I expecting of them if they can't see what they're supposed to do?
Yes.
Or read about it. And some of the shows are good, but then also they do have other sides of them, which I mean, if you think about like Big Bang Theory, Atypical, it's like, well, that's not Jason.
Yeah.
And we're talking about a spectrum, but narrowing it down to like 3 shows that we always come back to. And then kind of the guesswork with some people seem kind of quirky. Are they or are they not? And it's like, again, does the name of the condition matter if you can see the condition? So just start focusing there. But it just goes with the people you have around you. So it's like, who sits at your table? That's what you need to lean on.
Yeah.
And to go off of that too, I would recommend for that parents are grieving and they have never dealt with their grief. And I encounter that daily as a special education teacher. And so in my current business, Lamar Educational Consultants, I consult with parents. They can sit, they can talk to me. What are the things, what do I do next? What are some things? I had a parent that has a student that is in high school now. He has autism as well as Prader-Willi syndrome. And
What is
Prader-Willi syndrome is a very rare condition. Well, actually, he does not have autism. Let me take that back. He does not have autism. He has Prader-Willi syndrome. And Prader-Willi syndrome, a lot of students with Prader-Willi show signs of autism.
Mhm.
Some of their symptoms are kind of aligned with what you will see in a child with autism. I taught this baby in 3rd grade, and now he's actually my godson now. And because I was his teacher in 3rd grade, and I have helped this parent. Mom is a teacher, 7th grade teacher. Dad is a principal in DeKalb County.
Mhm.
And they actually travel from Gwinnett to see me. And I tell you, every weekend, okay? But anyway, I have been with him and I have consulted with him. I have put things in place to help him get into the work field. So instead of tutoring, we started with tutoring, but now we're doing more life skills so that I can set him up for going into like a mail office and sorting mail. So he sorts papers for me, for my business, things like that. However, we have found a program at Kennesaw State that actually have college program for students with disabilities.
Mm.
And so that is something that is out there for a child like you, Jason, can go to Kennesaw State. And that's something that I would like to see more in the universities because, you know, there's different majors out here. There's different things that students can learn.
Mhm.
But being able to offer that option to students, and for some of the ones that are a little bit more on the more of the adaptive level, because this particular student that I'm talking about for that I've worked with, he's more on the adaptive. He was kind of borderline high functioning, little needs some adaptive skills, would need somebody to support him. But Kennesaw State actually offered that service for him to be able to even go.
What is the name of this program?
I don't know the exact name of the program, but I can get it for you. So we can put that out there. But that's what I do within my business as well. So I offer consultant services for parents. It's just like, I don't know what to do. I've had parents with babies that won't connect with them. I don't know what to do. Tasha, what do I need to do? And so I start going through a questionnaire that I create for my parents and help them navigate through everything so that they can find the next steps in the process. So that's another thing too, because it's important to understand the grieving stage of that parent. You know, maybe so many people have told her he can't do it. And she's protecting him.
Yeah. But
you know, so it's we have to get to the meat of the problem
Absolutely.
before we can then create a plan.
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mama. when you hear things like this, there's programs that can help Jace become his full potential. How does that make you feel?
excited, ecstatic. I feel like a lot of kids need that. They need that support. They need that encouragement. Back to the story she was giving about how the mom or the parent sheltered the child from not doing something and the child wanted to do it. I have those conversations with my son. If he wants to do something, he know he can do it, then we're going to do it. It's been time where I feel like, I'm like, no, he can't. He's like, but I can, and let me show you. And he will show me, like, I'm just really big on just encouraging him and motivating him and letting him know that this is not going to stop you. Nothing's not going to stop you. Spiritually, my household is very spiritual, so we definitely believe in God, and he prays to God. He knows that God is going to help him get through things. And about the grieving parents, my whole family goes to therapy.
Wow.
My husband, me and my husband, even my son, he goes to therapy. And I know that when I talk to Dr. Garcia a good bit, but he was like, make sure that, you know, the therapist is gonna be a good one for him. And he connects with the therapist. He like loves her, and he doesn't go all the time. We got it to where he goes when he wants to go. If he's heavy with something, he wants to talk, he'll say, I need to go talk to her name Shawana. I need to go talk to Miss Shawana. If he's good and he don't want to talk to Miss Shawana, like, he's not gonna talk to Miss Shawana. But even in the therapy sessions, I was afraid that he would get in there and completely shut down and say nothing. And he's the total opposite. Like, Shawana was like, he talks so fast and so much, I have to hurry up and try to write it down. And so that's helping me just let him know that, hey, I can go talk to somebody. I don't have to hold these feelings in, or whatever the case may be. But I advocate for him a lot. Both of them will tell you, like, even on the break, I told you guys, even with the school system, I had multiple times, and probably for the rest of the years, we'll have to get an attorney involved a lot of times to make sure that he's giving opportunities to show people, like, hey, I can do this too. Like, don't count me out. So those programs that's developing is great, because it's a lot of kids that can really do, but they are put in a box. Like, and I got autism, I can't do anything. No, that's not true. They are most of the time smarter than the average kids that y'all are comparing them to. So it's like, don't box them in. Like, let them be who they're going to be and grow into who they want to be, and just have more educators like these people here that's like willing to step in and help them.
Well, Sam Gardner, atypical, has a therapist, and that's one of the biggest constants and his part of his support system. Well, he fell in love with her, and so she had to remove herself from being his therapist. So him trying to find another therapist became a very big issue because of his feelings for her. Is that something that you worry about, that your son making those do he like the ladies?
He's not. I mean, he had some ladies, like little girls in school, that's liking him, and even me, like, trying to coach him through that. Like, he's like, I got all this drama going on this year. He said, I didn't have all this drama going on last year, and it's this one particular girl, and I'm like, she likes you, and he's like, but I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for a girlfriend right now. But he likes girls. He knows he's going to like them. He says that, but right now he's just not ready for a girlfriend. But he was trying to do his homework the other day. Well, not homework, but schoolwork. And she said something to him, and he was like, I was trying to focus. I can't focus if she's over here talking in my ear, Mom. And he said, the girl said, okay, well, keep that same energy tomorrow, because I ain't talking to you. And it's just, so when he goes to the therapist, it's more of friendship drama that he's not used to, because remember, like 2 years ago, he was in an adaptive setting with kids that don't talk to him. So now he's second year in with these kids, and they talking, and they got these attitudes, and they cussing at them, and all this other stuff he's not used to. He was like, why, where's the drama? There's so much drama that he's dealing with. So just me trying to help him navigate through that, and him having somebody he can talk to about what he's dealing with is helping him a lot.
Yes, because that's funny, because Sheldon, these are my references to this one, right? Okay, until Amy Farrah Fowler was made for him, he never, I mean, the thought of human contact repulses him.
Oh, not my
but see, that's the difference. But that's me watching him and watching Sam, because I remember one of the first conversations when the show comes on, Sam is saying that his therapist tells him that he needs to, that it's okay for him to, well, how he said it was, to find a girl to have sex with. And so, but that the therapist didn't tell him that, but she told him it's okay for him to get out and try to meet someone that, but he was like, he's getting ready to graduate high school, so now this is his focus, to find a girl to have sex with, and it's just,
So, like, Not trying to give embarrassing stories. Tasha and I tell her a lot of times stuff he says to me, and I'm like, where is he learning? Like, where? Because again, like, even me as a parent, and I talk about this in my book, I box him in sometimes too. I put limitations on him too. So it's like stuff he'll say to me, or maybe say to Tasha, and I'm like, what, how did he know? Like, just embarrassing story, but he's like, oh, I know when you and Dad close the door, you're doing grown-up stuff. Like, who taught you that?
Exactly.
Where is this coming from? Yeah, like, but again, that's me feeling like, okay, he's special needs. So, like, how does he know that? But he's normal. He knows stuff that everybody else does.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your book.
Oh, my book?
You are an author.
I am. Embracing God's plan and not man's. It's really a book about my trials and tribulations being a mom from the beginning. Like, when I found out I was pregnant with him, all of the issues, I had preeclampsia, so he was born early. And he was in NICU for a couple weeks. And so that was a struggle with him being premature. And him coming home and me dealing with postpartum depression and initially being a single parent in the beginning, not having the help. And even with him going into him being delayed, a lot of delays, he experienced a lot of delays as a child, to the fact of him being 3 and not talking. So your nephew will talk eventually. My son was 3 and did not say a word, and then just magically started talking. And when he started talking, it wasn't mama, daddy. It was like full sentences, just out of nowhere. Like he was holding it in all that time. And when it was ready to come out, it came out. And just me reflecting, because me being in real estate, because he was delayed and special needs, I felt like, okay, he's behind. He's just behind. That's going to be what it's going to be. And I was focusing on building my real estate career to the point where I wake up one day and my son's in 3rd grade and he can't read. And I have to look in the mirror at myself and say, what are you doing as a parent at home? You're neglecting your child trying to build this real estate career that you feel like going to take care of him financially, but what about what he needs? As he has to know how to read. He has to know how to do math, how to count money. And I was connected with Tasha. And she, like, I call her our angel. Like, she changed my life. Like, she helped my son read. She helped teach me how to help him at home. She helped me advocate for him at school. And so she really started the journey for me. And I've been on it since then. And I eventually let my real estate career kind of go to the back seat and just really focus more on my son. And my career is kind of coming back now where it's supposed to be, but I don't never put that before him. Like, I'm real hands-on with him. Homework, I'm pushing the teachers, like, can I get homework every day? Like, he goes to tutoring still with Tasha. Like, he's never leaving her, by the way. Never ever leaving her, but just me really more focusing on him. So me just helping parents say, okay, if something's wrong, it's okay to identify that. It's okay to help your child. It's okay to identify where you went wrong, and don't put everything on the school, because like she says, only so many hours in a day.
Yes.
Like, you have to put in the work at home too, and once you start doing that, you'll see the changes within your child and to be able to help them be the person that they're supposed to be.
What are the resources for the parents?
I have that college.
Okay, go ahead.
So
please.
it is Wellstar College of Health and Human Services, and at Kennesaw State.
Okay.
And it's specifically for children with previous intellectual or any type of disabilities that wouldn't typically get or be approved for admission into a typical college.
Yes.
Yes.
Say this, please say this one more time.
Okay.
And when we get ready to end the show, I'm gonna have you do it again. To me, this is something that needs to be shared
it does.
with the community, because I don't know if everybody getting this information.
So at Kennesaw State University, they have a program, and it's called Academy for Inclusive Learning and Social Growth. It is a part of the Wellstar College of Health and Human Services. And the statement that it has here is that the Academy of Inclusive Learning and Social Growth offers a fully inclusive post-secondary college education and experience to students with different intellectual or developmental abilities who do not meet higher education requirements for admission as a degree-seeking student.
Wow.
That is
Good.
amazing.
Absolutely.
That is phenomenal, and that is in the state of Georgia.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Your business. Say your business name and tell people where they can find you, because I mean this stuff is needed.
Yes.
This is absolutely
She's an
needed.
angel.
Yes.
So please do that again.
So my business is Lamar Educational Lab. It is inspired off of my brother, whose name was Derek Lamar, who had significant disabilities. So I am a sibling of that of my brother, and my mom, just experiencing everything that she's been through and seeing how much she's had to advocate for my brother with therapies and everything. So I've experienced it as a sibling and now also as an educator. So what I do is support parents. I do a lot of consulting. I specialize in reading support as far as dyslexia, ADHD, executive functioning, as well as autism. So pretty much I do a little bit of everything. I work on social skills. So anything you need, you can contact me. If you need a resource, I can connect you with anyone that I pretty much know. A lot of people, I have a lot of people connections at UGA. So even if you have a student at UGA and that has an IEP and needs support on how to get their services with their IEP as a college freshman, I can do that. I can connect you with the people. So again, Lamar Educational Lab and Consultants. You can find me on Facebook.
All right.
Yeah.
Dr. Garcia, you being an advocate, tell people where they can find you and contact you to get, because you clearly are a resource for Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And you clearly are a resource. How can people find you so that you can help them make it through some of the things they might be having problems with?
I don't have like an official LLC or agency or anything like that. It's pretty much been like people know me and then they'll like refer somebody and be like, maybe, talk with him, kind of see. Because sometimes the parent might think that it's one thing and they're struggling, and then I'm seeing something else that anybody ever brings this up, and then that completely changes kind of the angle. Mm-hmm. But I resigned from special education elementary in October, and so transitioning into essentially more law policy, advocacy. That part is to have somebody at the table with you to make sure the school system isn't lying, trying to like skirt around things. It's just yes or no, are we getting this done? And then just trying to help the parent. With resources too, there's also a ton. So they're not always specified as autism, because for example with JCon, like chess and community was one because he wants to get into robotics. Mm-hmm. So also being able to connect them a lot of times with their special interest is something that is a huge outlet that will help, because you can see in this conversation everything's so focused on development, their education, but it's like, what about play, fun time where y'all are not bothering me?
Absolutely.
So kind of those things, and there's different groups and things like that too. So those are also resources to consider.
Okay.
Resource, Athens Parent Wellbeing. They have a lot of different different classes, workshops, and one they have is called a neurodiverse parenting. So support is held every third Friday from 1 to 2. And if you go to their website, which is Athens Parent Wellbeing, it has, you can find a list of different support groups. It's one called the Highly Sensitive Child. Like they just have a lot of things geared towards the parent and child. But that neurodivergent support group is one that I know the facilitators, and I mean it's really good. So just if just want that extra support or that extra information about children dealing with different things. It's not only autism, ADHD, any kind of neuro issues that the child may have. And also, I do see children on the spectrum in my practice at Adult and Child Counseling of Athens. So that's where I'm Monday through Friday, mostly 9 to 6.
All right, Mom. You won't need anybody to get in touch with you about finding a house?
Listen, yeah. I am a local real estate broker. Kinley Realty Co. is the business name. I just opened up my real estate brokerage this summer, past summer. So definitely for all of your real estate needs, but even outside of that, like if it's parents out here that's going through what I've been through, I'm willing to talk to anybody, encourage anybody. I got a couple of parents that reach out to me, and we just, I share my story, they share their story, just encourage, because we need that as a community. Like,
absolutely.
And I share my resources. I share Tasha all the time. Like, hey, I don't know if she accepting people, but call her. She helped my son. So just if you just want to have somebody to talk, somebody to pray with or whatever, then, y'all can reach me. I'm all over social media. I won't blast my number out on this podcast, but you can find me, Nidra Hayes, on Facebook, and Nidra_sales on IG, and Nidra Sales on TikTok.
All right. Hey, go ahead.
One more thing, when you was talking about like just what I can remember about my first, I guess, just seeing someone with autism or Asperger was Rain Man. It's an old movie. I'm dating myself.
Yes.
And that was the first, like, that, and just watching that movie, it was like, wow. Mm-hmm. But how that, his brother, even though he was like, he didn't want to deal with him, he had to, got him out the mental hospital, and, he wasn't fell on hard times, and he's trying. So when he found out that, oh, you're smart, he turned him into, his cheat sheet at the casino.
Yeah.
So,
but it's another good movie called The Accountant. And The Accountant 2 is coming out too.
The Accountant.
So
That's
a good one.
Because I eventually watched it. Oh, okay, he is. Yeah. And what's A Beautiful Mind?
Yep.
Yeah.
Beautiful Mind. That was another one. Of these movies, of these, I guess, high functioning and very intelligent men, and but I would like to thank each and every one of y'all for coming in here tonight and having this conversation with us. Deidre, I definitely want to thank you because, Shawana, I want to thank you for turning me on to Deidre, and then you turning me on to Dr. Garcia and Latasha. I want to thank y'all because my goal, that's one of the goals of this pod, is to get the information out to the community so they can make better and informed decisions on whatever it is that they need to make better and informed decisions on. Mm-hmm. So I truly thank y'all for what y'all do, for what y'all two are doing, what you're doing, Mama, and our love and affection for you. So, but I thank y'all because this work it's hard work, and it has to continue because these kids, our babies, are the most important to me. Are the most important thing, and getting the help for these parents, helping them to understand what's going on, and letting them know that they're not by themselves in this because once you're in a hole, a lot of times you feel like you're by yourself. Yeah. So, I thank y'all for expressing what y'all have been through, what y'all are going through, how y'all are out here for the people, for these kids, for these parents, and for their community. Because if you know anything about dealing with a special need kid, it takes a community.
Yes.
It really takes the village
Yes.
to make sure that they become whatever they're supposed to become. So I thank y'all. Talking random-ish, thank y'all. And if there's anything, I promise you, if there is anything that we can do for y'all, please holler at your boy. Please, please, please. Because to me, this is what's important.
Yeah.
This is what's important. The work in the community, helping these kids, helping these people become whole. So I thank y'all. Yeah, y'all see Larry ain't here tonight, so unless we got another poet in the house that want to take us out, nobody gonna step up. Okay. Well,
What Larry do?
oh, he's a poet. He's our resident poet. Yeah. I mean, he's amazing. In fact, in a while, he gonna put on a show, and he got a book coming out. In fact, at the last show on the 24th of this month, we're gonna turn the barbershop into a poetry house.
Oh.
So if you are a poet, please, we would love for you to come in and give us some words.
Yeah.
Because like I said, because this is also National Poetry Month.
Okay.
And yeah. So on the 24th, we're gonna we're gonna have poetry in the barbershop.
Yeah.
So please, if you're listening to the sound of my voice, please like, share, and subscribe to Talking Randomish. Let me show my cousin that he need to sponsor, and we need to show him that we are a valuable source. That my cousin right there, man. Hey, man, a great guy. It's unfortunate why he's here. If y'all are praying, people, please pray for our family. We lost his brother, and a great dude, and we will be celebrating him on off here Saturday. But please pray for my family. Keep us in your prayers. But this game called life is a series of moments. The past is just that, the past. Learn from it and be thankful for it. The future, prepare for it. It's coming. Let's get to the next one. The present, it is a gift. Enjoy the journey. Take pictures. But most importantly, thank God. It's time to sweep the floors. We're going to clean these clippers. And cuz, since you here, we're going to let you get the bathroom. The shop is closed. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.